and this week I'm going to talk about how to do tiger skin or tiger is fur, and yeah, and I will paint the Gryph Hound using the tiger pattern. So in this tutorial this week I will explain how I will do that. I hope you find interesting. But before starting, here I'm showing you yeah, pictures of tigers. So the way for me to understand and to see how I will paint the tiger fur is just I start looking at internet some pictures to get the color and to see how I will do this on my miniature. So here we have some pictures of the tigers, and what I want you to observe is, first of all, it's the ochre orangey color of the skin is not only orange, so we see that we have white on the bottom, and then when I was observing different pictures of the tigers, you will see that we have different patterns for these things, the lines or the strips. So this is one picture. Let's see, here we have another tiger. We see that the yeah, is darker, maybe it's because the picture is more browny. We will see that we have more ochre, we have more brown, and we have some that are very orangey yellow. So this one is quite ochre, quite yellowish. You see this one have the strips, the lines quite thick, a lot of them, more than the previous ones, and the bottom are the lines are thicker, are less, but are much thicker. Also see that the pattern in the legs is changing direction, so we have vertical strips there, then in the legs they go horizontal. And also interesting the tail. Let's see if we have better pictures of the tail. So here we have another pattern, also like these ones that are like duplicated, like if the line is double and doing this type of patterns. We see that also the thickness can vary depending on the front and the back on the tiger. What is common in all tiger is the bottom is white, the bottom of the tail is white, the inside of the legs are also white, or the paws, I should say. This one is more yellowish as well. This one is more the traditional color, this browny yellowish as well, colored orange. So it's quite interesting. We see also that transition can be soft in some places, harder in other ones. So, and another thing interesting here, we see the tail is like black strips, very solid. Again, the bottom we see that they go thicker. So yeah, and this is also another very nice pattern. So I just take pictures. These are good for inspiration. See that here the tail is completely different, and also see that it's white at the bottom and it's brown on the top. So yeah, I just wanted to share some pictures because I'm going to use what we see in that pictures in my video tutorial. So yeah, this was just the introduction, and now let's get ready to start doing the paint job. So after watching the video with the images of the tigers, now I will go to really paint this Gryph Hound, and I will do the tiger pattern on the skin. So yeah, let's start using that. So I will look for an orangey color. I'm looking now. I will most likely, we have different options here, but the one I want to use at the end is going to be the I think I will use the Tau light ochre. We will start with that and we'll check how this is looking like. This is looking like, I'm going to do the more orange. I will go for something more like the ochre colors. So let's paint this base color. I will paint all here around. I don't need too much precision this time. So I will do that. I will apply a base color of light Tau light ochre, and I will be back in a minute. So you see now the ochre is completely applied, and we are going to start working on the white spots. If you have seen the introduction, you have seen that the tigers have the belly white most of the time, so I will do the belly of this guy white and also the inside of the paws. So we are going to apply white inside, okay, and I want to add a little bit up here, no more than that. First I'm going to apply a solid transition, and we are going to soften it later on by doing a little bit of white blending. The tail I will do the same, so we'll go with white here. See that color was not completely dry, the previous one. And I will do the bottom of the tail, just like that. So if you see the tigers in the pictures, you have seen that also the tail. So I'm working with the picture in front of me, because in that way I can double check with the real tiger or with the real painting. So here, for example, we are going to do all the inside of the paws. Also looking, so okay, so I will do all the inside. So I will apply this, and once I start doing the blending and the transition, I will show you how I do it. So, but so far I will apply just white on the inside of the legs, and yeah, also here on the breast they have white. Okay, so this. Let's see, okay. Right. We want to ensure that we don't miss any part, no? And maybe this miniature is easier to paint it, so I always can unglue from the base and try to facilitate my work. This is always an option to paint the miniature, especially these parts before gluing to the base, because it's going to be much easier to paint. I think I will do that. So I unsnap. Now you see you can have better access to all the parts that you want to paint. So it's going to be much easier and faster. Don't be aware, if you use super glue, you always can snap off the part. If you have used plastic glue and you see, now I can see there that was behind the rock, I didn't paint it well, so you have better access. Really, the belly of the horses and the belly of the animals are much easier when you don't glue them on the base. So let me just look at the picture of the example that I have. So yeah, here on the sides, normally it goes a little bit higher. So you can do something like that. The same on that side. Again, I know that this is not a real tiger, but it's good to. Then the paws, they are white. All this part, I will paint all this part white, like that. And be aware that some of them have also white sometimes on the top, so they have a mixture of this ochre with white. In that case, I will just do this patch here, you see. Sorry if I go sometimes off camera. Okay, now we are just applying the base colors, and to know where we're going to have white, where we're going to have this orange ochre. So again here, and you see disassembled. It's much easy. So we can do the body, and then assemble this guy and do the head later on. So try always to make your life easier when you're painting, and know when a part will be covered or difficult access. And if you can and you have difficulty to access, always see if you can snap off the part, because sometimes it will make your life much easier, and glue the part back later. Okay, looks quite okay. We will go now for the ochre. That was the Tau. Remember the color they used, the orange one, was the light Tau light ochre. What we are going to do is I will take some of this, I will put it here in the side, in my palette. I will take some of the white, mix it, okay, and we are going to do a transition pair. Okay, and then you can take more white if you want. So the idea is not to make, is to make more undefined the transition pairs, to add more variety to the color. Okay, so we're going to do the same here. It's a little bit like what one thing here. I need pure ochre to correct this mistake. And now I will take the mixture. Let's water down a little bit the mixture. And we are going to do this transition. I'm going to add a little bit of white. I'll do one thing. I want to avoid to contaminate my white, so we put some white on. You see, the white that I have in that pot is quite thin, and it's because I add water. So if you paint from the pot like me, that you should not. So we should not paint from the pot, but I know that sometimes it's easier to do it. Be careful that the paint is enough watered down, is thin enough to avoid any clogging. So let's keep doing these transitions. So to avoid that is super strong transition, keep applying this one mix, some white. To be fair, the transitions, the tiger are not super soft, but he has this light ochre, that like orange around the white, so let's keep applying. Do here as well. Okay, you see that this
it's looking more interesting, I think. And yeah, I cannot use wash this time because I will use on the tail, I will use this like ochre to smooth also this transition here. So you see the bottom white, the sides with lighter ochre, and then I keep the top with the dark ochre. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to start highlighting the musculature, and I will do the same type of mixture to start highlighting the musculature. So I will use the layering, and we want to do the highlights before doing any other thing, because this is, once we do the strips of the tiger, it's going to be almost impossible to do any highlight or any work. So we're going to keep highlight. Here on this mirror have a little bit of problem. We have the joint here, so I'm going very heavy on paint on the joint, and I will try to make the joint to fill the joint with the paint. So when you have, I do this sometimes when the joint or the slot is not so important. I apply heavy paint and try to cover it with the heavy paint. So here I will keep this one, I will do also this musculature. So it's going to be a little bit, I don't want to go very dark on it. Maybe I will apply a little bit of sepia on some muscles. But what I'm doing now is just adding some highlights on the different parts with the ochre mixed with white. It is similar to the color I use for the transition. And will help to make the transition less obvious. Because now the color is not as strong as uniform as before. Okay. Let's do this musculature here. Okay. I don't think I will end up using any Seraphim sepia because it will be too dark for what I'm doing here, and I don't want to create more. I don't want to go darker than needed, because I want that the tiger strips or tiger lines to be really pop up. So just keep, this is really layering. Now here, part that we need to make much lighter, or that I like to make lighter, for example this one. The musculature is important, you want to make it a little bit more prominent. This one here as well. You want to make some, to show some of the stone musculature of the miniature. Then here, the middle. And the white is not super clean in some areas, but it's okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take white. This time I'm going to go the inverse color. Just a little bit of ochre. And I'm going to do some of the shading. So I'm going to go into some of the recesses. And this is just the same white. It's just here. I'm going to smooth a little bit this transition. It's too harsh. Okay, but look at this, just the same white with just a little bit of ochre added. We can add a little bit more here to make this color more. So not to avoid to have really pure white all over the place. And we help to show the musculature, the texture. So especially you want to go between these toes fingers, how do you want to call it there as you get there. Okay. And you want to smoothen the transition as well. What are here? Musculature. Even if you've got the feel that is too strong, always can add a little bit of ochre. I think it's good. So as you see, the first part is a little to prepare. It's a little minute and to play around until you're happy how the musculature is looking like. So you just blend in the colors. Then when you see something that is really sharper or with you have to be careful because most of this is going to be almost covered when we do the tiger strips. So I think now it's looking better. It's looking good. Here we want to put something. Okay. Now is moment to do the tiger strips, or tiger lines, and they are black, and I will use black to do that, and I will go for thinner brush. Be careful with the black because sometimes it can be too thick. So let's look for a good example of tiger that I want to copy. And let's start. So the strips are not all over, are something like that. Let's start here. Something like that. Then they will go down. On the other side in the same way. And they can be uniform and they can be less uniform. So let's put another one here. Okay. And then you can have some that are really together one with each other. Don't do just straight lines. If you look, some are going to be longer, and then what I see is they have it all over the place, so you want to keep doing that. And some of them sometimes are open, like this one. So I will keep this one open, for example, like this. So it's a matter of patience and start doing all the steps. Okay. So I will keep doing that. And there is not much to say here, it's just, you can see, what I will do is, instead of cutting the camera, I will leave it, because this is going to take long, I will put this in fast move. this is how it's looking like now. Yeah, I think to do the full, consider this done. This is how it's looking like. And now we are ready to do the rest of this miniature. So this is my, we'll say my weekly painting of my weekly painting for this week. I hope you find this interesting. It's been quite a long. This is why I put the fast track on the camera, because I wanted to show you the whole process, because I think it's important, not just the technique, if not the process. I had the picture of tigers next to me. I was trying to trade the inspiration from there. I go more heavy on the back, little bit on the bottom, and some on the paws. But this is how it looks like, and pretty happy with the result. And now I'm ready to do the rest of the details of this miniature. So that's all for now. I hope you find it interesting for this week. Please like if you like it, subscribe if you don't subscribe it, comment. And as usual, thanks a lot for watching, and see you again later. Bye.